I'll share with you what I'm actually working on in the business at the moment. For those of you who don't know, we have 3 directors. I'm one of them. Steve and Tom got on board at the end of 2020, and we now have a team of about 20 people in our company, 1,600 members, and have been doing this for 5 years. Right now, we went away to Healesville, which is a place about an hour from Melbourne, and put some discussions together, some really deep thinking between just us 3 directors about 3 weeks ago now. We established our revenue goals, our expenses goals, our KPIs in certain areas, and we broke down and reverse engineered the numbers as any true business who is successful should be doing. And this is something we've never done before in the previous 4 years. We're now entering into year number 5, and this year will be the year where we actually grow the most, I'm certain of, because of the foundation that's been built. But I think this is the year that we will become more of a company rather than just this like small business who's grinding and winning on volume and inefficiency, but is unoptimized. We want to change that this year. So after Healesville, we all allocated, I guess, roles or responsibilities and tasks for the quarter 1, January 1 to March 31. And we have the Bucks, about 6 people are going to India with, Tom and Steve being 2 of those 6 people, and Lenny. So 3 of us are going to be away from the company for about 5 days at the end of Feb. So we have to factor that in as well. That means we only have about 6 weeks to get these tasks done, which is not a lot of time. So for context, my tasks for the quarter, it's mainly around marketing, funnels, building stuff, creating stuff, so that then things can grow off that, right? Those things are email flows, those things are awareness of our offer internally and externally, those things are platinum webinars, which is our paid area webinars. Need to make some systems and processes and tech to implement that so we can schedule and automate it. So all I need to do is just rock up for the webinar every week. Horse system flows, which is where our platinum members are essentially offered an ongoing service, a subscription. That is something that is not clearly communicated so far as an add-on to platinum, which makes them more money. As well as that, we have lead magnets, which is something that I'm going to be working on, creating some lead magnets. If you don't know what a lead magnet is, it's just an enticing thing that makes people get interested in your services or products. And you basically say, hey, here's this thing, sign up, give us your email, and then we'll obviously send you more stuff and we can get them involved with our community, give them more value, and then eventually they can buy into our stuff and everyone wins. They make more money, we make more money, everyone wins. And then the 6th thing is podcast. I'm in charge of the podcast for quarter 1. Now, it's February 3 and we haven't done a single podcast yet for the year, right? Which is shit. We lost our editor, which massively throws a spanner in the works. He quit because he was making too much money from match betting and he wanted to get out of the 9 to 5. Now, my job for the quarter as well, 5 plus this, is to get a podcast operating procedure made and then have somebody able to walk into that procedure and system and just implement it. That includes editing, setting up cameras, all sorts of different things that normally would be really difficult to implement. I would be heavily involved in the podcast because that's just how it's been in the past, which takes me away from working on the business and keeps me working in the business, which is a problem. But last week, Steve he's more of our strategy guy in terms of like the processes and the tech. He basically said, hey, I think we're all working on these tasks, we're away from each other, whatever. Tom's working on member acquisition, mentorship. Steve's working on a lot of tech stuff, building some tech processes, also hiring an in-house Mr. Fix-It tech guy. That's going to be a massive job in itself. But essentially, he came to us on Tuesday or Wednesday and he said, look, all these things are fantastic, but everything is reverting back to or linking back to the marketing strategy, which we don't currently have, and we also aren't on the same page with. And this was frustrating me for about 2 weeks. And then once he identified that, I'm like, yeah, spot on. It's not that we're not agreeing with each other, but there's no clear goals and strategy with like, okay, this is what we are doing as a marketing thing, because marketing links to everything, right? Our content agency, our member acquisition team, our paid ads, our internal messaging to our members, our external messaging through emails, messaging through the communications that we have with our potential people that are coming through. All of these things link to each other and link to marketing. And marketing is not just, hey, post this content, and then people are just going to magically buy your shit. You actually have to have a strategy. Where are the member acquisition team coming in and calling potential members? Where are the member acquisition team messaging potential members? Are they waiting until they finish the free course? Are they waiting until they DM the Instagram? Are we telling people to DM the Instagram? Are we creating funnels, automated chatbots where you, hey, send a message saying system and then we'll send you the free course? Are we doing this manually? Are we talking to people? Our personalization has been our biggest point of difference within this industry for the past 5 years, and it's why we've grown so big, because we actually personally talk to people, whether that be free calls, whether that be personalized voice messages pre-joining. Like, all of these things need to be strategized, because we need to prioritize the resources through what we have. Like, if we only got 2 member acquisition team members on our team who are calling people and talking to people, we are spread pretty thin. So we need to either realize that we need more people, we need to make the systems and processes, build the tech to actually track it all as well. That's the biggest thing that our business lacks at the moment, is actual accurate data to make objective decisions. And all of this needs to get built. And it's quite overwhelming, because it's like, JP, you're in charge of this, and this is on top of the 6 things that I've already got for this quarter. And I'm like, well, fuck, no shit. This overrides all of the other things that I'm working on and forms the fundamental layer of what I'm working on. And if I nail the plan, which I'm due to present today to the boys, which I'm no means confident that this is going to be the final plan, I've got something put together. But for me, it's like, if that's nailed and we can execute that, and the boys are clear on what I see as the visionary for this business in a sense of the marketing, the content, the strategy, that's been my role since day one. We need to be all on the same page and agree on that. And once we're all on the same page and agree on that and understand how it works, then we can actually then build shit out on top of that. Because if you haven't got the core thing right, there's no point actually building anything else. So why am I telling you this? It's quite boring. If you don't find this shit interesting, fair enough. But obviously I'm going down a rabbit hole here with a bit of marketing. Essentially, what I've created, and this is something that I made up myself through probably 2022, 2023. I didn't study marketing. I haven't done anything. I've not studied anything to do with that. I was an osteopath. I was a doctor, and I gave that up in 2020. But I learnt marketing, content, strategy, psychology of consumers, all this just from doing. I've then gone and read books like $100 Million Offers. I haven't read $100 Million Leads yet. I'm scared to, because I know the value that's going to be in that, but I have watched a lot of Hormozy content, even the presentation he did on leads when he launched the book. But last year we changed our whole offer, which was our core issue, right? Our free course was, hey, do our free course, you'll make some money. No offer, no clear offer, no dream outcome, no perceived likelihood of success, no time delay, no effort and sacrifice that was clear. So the value from the consumer as a perception is lost. They don't have any reason to do our free course. Now we've actually redone our entire free course. It's fucking 10x better. And now we have a clear lead magnet, which is like, do this free course, you'll make $1,000 for free. And you'll do that within 32 minutes. And that's like, whoa, I'm doing that. Straight away, the value's there. Okay, cool. You're teaching me how to make $1,000 within 32 minutes. You can see how the perception of dream outcome, time delay, effort and sacrifice, perceived likelihood of success is completely different. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's Alex Hormozy's value equation, which is amazing. If you run a business, you need to know that. Anything that comes back to your core offer needs to be clear. So we didn't have an offer. Our offer was missing. And Hormozy talks about this again in his book. It's like market, offer, persuasion. Now, market, right, means that the industry that you're in, is it growing or is it dying? Again, referring to Alex, he says that things either are growing or dying. They can't be in between. And you ask yourself, hey, is the match betting industry growing or dying? It's up for debate. I'd almost say that it's not dying, but it's not growing. The betting industry is the same. You could argue that it's dying in the way that we know it, but it's growing in other areas where degenerates are losing more money, right? So it really depends how you look at it. What this means is that your market overrides your offer and your persuasion. If you don't know what persuasion is essentially your ability to convince the audience to buy your shit manually, but also through communication and nurturing. Whereas if you just have a really good offer, you don't need as much persuasion. And if you have a really good market, you don't even need an offer. For example, if you sell hot dogs outside of a nightclub at 3 a.m. when everyone's just getting out of there hammered, starving, It wouldn't matter if the hot dogs are made of crap. People are just going to buy them. That's an elite market, right? There's no offer, there's no persuasion. It's just market wins. So the first thing is like, is your industry dying or growing in what you're trying to get into? Of course, you want to go into a growing industry. If you're not, then good luck to you. You're gonna slowly decline, regardless of how good you are. If your industry is dying, something like newspapers, right? Newspapers, they're dying. People are not using newspapers as much anymore. So why would you then make a newspaper business? Okay, everyone's online now. No matter how good your offer is or how good your persuasion is, you're just gonna lose because the actual thing's declining. So we identified this and we fixed our offer, and that was step one. Now we have to actually make sure that the offer's clear and communicated through everything that we do. And that's my job, right? The marketing strategy is we need to make sure that not only is the offer communicated throughout our content, because right now we have paid ads that were made in fucking 2023 that are still on our paid ads, talking to people, and the copy says, free online course, make money. And it's like, that's not what we do. We teach people how to make money from match betting, and we're going to teach you how to make $1,000 by watching 5 videos that go for 32 minutes. That is the offer. So don't write other shit. Write the fucking thing that says what it is, right? That's step one. Then our content needs to do the same thing. Then our member acquisition team need to be consistent. Then our website, our landing pages all need to talk, right? And then we need to build data on top of that so we can track everything so that we know what the fuck is going on. Where are our leads coming from? We have 2,100 people sign up to our new free course in the last 6 weeks. 2,100 people. About 90 or so of those have joined Platinum. 20 of the 90 that came from Jan had signed up prior to the new free course. Point is, we don't know where these people are coming from. We don't know where those 2,100 people have come from because we haven't got the correct tech set up to know, hey, did they come from paid ads? Did they come from organic content? We haven't created links where they're different tracking links, YouTube descriptions. Maybe they came from a specific video. Knowing this helps you make better decisions, and we are flawed in this area. So not only do I have to make the strategy, but I need to be able to say, hey, Steve, you need to make the systems to track this and the tech to track this. And this is where it becomes complicated. So I don't have to solve that problem yet, but what I have to do is present this to the boys. So it's like, this is our strategy, this is our plan, and this is how we're going to do it. So I went off topic there. But in 2023 or 2022, I made this thing called the belief spectrum. It's a self-invented spectrum. I don't know if someone else has made something similar to this. It's probably called something else, but I've self-created it in terms of how I get my thoughts into paper, because this is something that I've had a weakness in, is being able to show people what I can already see. I have an elite ability to have foresight to see something going to work, but I can't actually, well, I don't say can't, but I'm poor at communicating that. I've got better at it over the last 12 months. But being able to say, hey, this is going to happen if I post this content, and this is going to happen if I say this, and this is going to happen if I show someone this, right? That's just the ability to understand the psychology of the consumer. But being able to communicate that to our team has been something that slowly has improved. And as the boys have bought into this, it's become more and more obvious that the ideas are not just madness, they're actually strategic and they work. And now I'm putting this on an objective spectrum where it's like, okay, cool. This is called the belief spectrum, right? The belief spectrum essentially means how much does somebody believe what we do is real? You can put people on this spectrum according to what level they have gone. So for example, someone who does our free course has moved quite along the spectrum compared to someone just in our free audience who's just a full-on non-believer. Then someone who's watched our entire free course has gone further than someone who just signed up and watched no videos. Then someone who's joined Platinum has then moved along a spectrum of belief as well. And then we have sports system, horse system, mentorship program. And then there's about currently 8 people that are in the top tier mentorship program, which is like a very, very isolated, exclusive group, which are making more than $30,000 a month, right? Those people are just handpicked out of the community, and we're offering a maximum of 20 spots in this program. We've filled 8 of them. So along this spectrum, people have different thoughts and perceptions of what it is that we do, right? These things are things such as, you're a scam, people in the non-believer category, this isn't real, you boys are a fucking load of shit. All those people are way down the left of the spectrum. Now, they're not our target audience, but a lot of people who've been in that audience have been convinced or converted eventually to the far end of the spectrum because they've seen certain things or they've heard certain things or they've been shown proof. And that's the aim of the marketing strategy, right? The marketing strategy is not so much about the creation of leads. That is a separate thing. But I'm going to be more focusing on the nurturing through this belief spectrum. And you need to understand what each person in those categories along that spectrum needs to see, hear, and believe. Because if they don't see the right stuff, then they're not going to move along that spectrum and they're just going to get stuck. Now, the majority of people in our audience would fit in the first half, right? A lot of people get stuck from free to platinum, and a lot of people stay forever in the non-believer category because they're just too lazy, too broke, too addicted to gambling, too low IQ to actually look into this, too lazy as well, all those factors. So you're not going to invest too much resources into convincing those people. It's more trying to identify where the most amount of leads are coming from. For example, like, are they 22? Are they 20? Are they 18? Are they gamblers? Are they non-gamblers? Do they have money? We've made a little avatar, which is, if you don't know, in marketing, avatar is just like a person that you call your ideal person as in your business, ideal customer. So our ideal customer is someone between the age of 18 and 22. Because why is that the case? Well, our best members are in that category. The ones that have made 100K, 200K, 300K, 500K always fit within that category. Almost always. So it's like we need to understand that and be aware of that. That doesn't mean that we target no one else, but it means that we should be investing resources into talking to those kind of consumers, right? Those people understand that gambling doesn't work. They've gambled before. They want to make more money. They have some money to invest. They understand that they need to invest money to make more money. That's our ideal member. And they want to learn. They're young. They're having a crack. They want to make money. They're a bit of a go-getter. And they don't really care what comes in their way. They're going to succeed. People who get shit done fast, high initiative. That's our ideal member. So along the way, we need to be able to send them content, show them content, expose them to ideas, prove that it works, and constantly just give them more and more answers to their questions. Now, the main outcome or the main aim is to move people along that spectrum. However, how you do that is really crucial. So the first thing that we've built is our free course. The free course itself is going to educate people on what the fuck it is we teach in the easiest way possible within 1 hour, and they're going to make money during that process, right? Our free course is going to make you $1,000. So if you go and sign up to our free course, what we're doing there is we are establishing trust, we are showing proof, and we are giving you money for free. So that you're like, okay, cool, this works. This isn't a scam. This doesn't not work. I'm not going to get sucked in down this rabbit hole of gambling and stuff. I'm aware gambling companies want to get me addicted. That's not what these boys are teaching. They're teaching me how to use the betting company's promotion, specials, offers with mathematics and make free money. Cool. Fantastic. I watch the 6 videos in the free course. I go and make some money. I make $500. I realize after I watch video 6 that people can make way more money than this after the promotion, after the sign-up offers and the deposit matches that we teach you how to make money on in the free course. And then I understand that there's a pathway here where we can be taught how to make at least $1,000 a month ongoing with 5 or less hours a week. Now that's the platinum offer. The platinum offer is we will teach you how to make $1,000 every single month with 5 or less hours a week. 1,600 people have done that, and that's ever growing. We had 90 people in January. So our job, right, because people are going to sign up to our free course, they're going to watch 2 videos, and then they're not going to know what platinum is. They're not going to know. They don't watch video 6, they don't know what platinum is. So then they get stuck in this area where it's like free to platinum. What do? What do you tell them? How do you get them to get re-engaged? How do you get them to finish the free course? So all of these things need to be considered. It's like, where are people falling down in the funnel? Where are they stopping? And this is the type of thing that I need to think about and solve, and we need to work together as a team. Because we have things like, hey, the member acquisition team are calling them after they start the free course. Or are the member acquisition team only calling people who finish the free course? Are the member acquisition team messaging people on the DMs when they follow us on Instagram, sending out a warm DM? Or are we investing resources into people who only finish the course, right? We're also going to gather data, right? Is the person signing up, do they have money? Like, we did some research. Are the leads shit, right? our leads coming a lot from paid ads, and these paid ads aren't as good at the moment. So we're getting a lot of people because we have the data. We have a form after video 1. It's like, how much money do you want to allocate to this? And people write less than 500 or less than 1,500 50% of the time, which means that we're pricing out those people because they're not the right member. Those people are almost a waste of time because they're broke, they don't have any money, they can't invest, they can't do this, they're less likely to succeed. So where do we invest our time? Do we invest our time only speaking to people between 1,500 and 5K bankroll, or do we have people who, or do we target people who have $5,000 plus? All of these things need to be considered, and this is the strategy. And we're not going to have the answer straight away, but we do need to be able to track the data. And all of these little decisions need to be considered when you're doing this. And this is actually helping me to talk about this because a lot of this stuff just accumulates in my brain. I don't speak to anyone about it, and I get overwhelmed and my brain wants to blow up and fucking, yeah. Now, my job is to make a strategy, which I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to do. I've put together a spectrum which explains this. And what I've noticed is a couple of different things, and it's the ability to explain things to people in a more personalized way. We know this works. Our persuasion as a business is elite, right? We have the ability to talk to people on the phone, to tell them what we do. But what I've identified is we don't have the actual processes in place to automatically do that. So we don't have a video that says, hey, if you have this problem, watch this video. Or if you have this problem, watch this video. Now, having that automatically getting sent to members who have just signed up to the free course, who have the question, what is platinum? Hey, here's a video. What if I run out of bonus bets? Here's a video. And this needs to get automatically sent to them. And this is not happening currently. And that's why we're not automatically converting people. We have to manually persuade them. 90% of our people who join Platinum are coming through the member acquisition team, which tells us that one of two things is happening. One, our offer's unclear. That's the most likely. 2, our leads could be dog shit. And 3, they're not getting nurtured enough, or the content that they're seeing is not enough to what their answers are. So they're left with this like doubt, and the value then isn't portrayed or perceived well enough, so they don't take action. So our aim is to be able to automatically convert people to join so that they know it's a no-brainer offer. Right now, we don't have that. And I recently changed video 6, which is our long video, explains what the platinum offer is. But that video, after sending it to another guy who had no bias, he's like, bro, you didn't even tell them to join. Like, there was no sale. There was no killer. There was no link to fucking buy. And he's like, bro, put a fucking link there and tell them to join. So I've gone and done that. That'll get inputted into the course today, and we'll see if that changes anything on the back end to see if the automatic conversion happens a little bit better. I'm not going to change any other variables, because if you start changing other variables, then we won't know if that's actually the right thing that has resulted in the changes. So you need to actually have all of these thoughts through the whole process. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, fuck this guy, he's just trying to make money out of everyone, you need to remember one important step, because people get triggered by this. Hey, look at this guy, he's trying to convert all these leads and make money. It's like, what you'll need to understand if you are thinking that is that the thing that they're investing in has been around now for 5 years, and the value of what they are joining now is 10, 20, 30x what they would have got 5 years ago. And that's because we keep adding to it, we keep adding value, we keep revamping and iterating and making it more valuable for members. And the more people join, the more valuable the community gets. And we recently added webinars, free webinars every single Thursday for our members. We've done that since August 2024. We're up to week 26 this week. Now that's been massive. Like, they don't have to pay for that. They invest once, they get access to anything we add in the future. We've now given them free access to our horse system for the first month. We're changing content, we're revamping, we're educating, we're making sure that any problems that we encounter within our community that is identified and there's a trend, we fix. So it's all good and well to say, hey, yeah, convert all these leads, get as many as you can. But if you don't deliver on your promise, if you don't deliver on the service that you're providing, if you don't deliver on the product that you're selling, good luck to your customers. They're gone in the wind, they think you're a scam, and you lose them. The community dies, and people fucking rinse you and abuse you and call you all sorts of names. That hasn't happened to us because we've actually delivered on the offer, and people realize that they're getting a lot more value than the $1,097 that they pay. Right? It's mass unders compared to what they're actually getting. And that's what we want, because once they jump in, we give them everything. We tell them how to do it. We give them the highest chance of succeeding. They understand that this is actually harder to not make at least $1,000 a month ongoing if they put in the work than it is to not make it. Than it is to make it, sorry. Because it's that easy to do it. We literally hand it to you on a platter. So if you're triggered, well, learn that you need to solve problems of the consumer first before you charge. And if you charge first and then chase money and then don't solve problems of consumer, good luck to your business. See you later. You won't last 12 months. You won't get any members. You'll get members and then they'll go on and then they'll abuse you and then you'll just lose. Make the product and service fucking elite. Make it great. Then tell people about it. Then tell more people about it. And then tell people that if they don't join, they're actually losing. And that's why I have no shame in selling this, because it works. And I know that if you don't join it as a consumer, you're losing. That's the beauty of what we've built. You lose if you don't join. But yeah, that's what I'm building at the moment, and I can speak about this for days. But I need to be able to get out what's in my head onto paper and make it a strategic plan that can be implemented and executed so that everyone's on the same page with KPIs, goals, and trackable data sets so that we can actually track the level of success. Is this actually working? Is this not? Who knows? We don't have it right now because we're fucking idiots and we don't have the correct data. So yeah, I'm about to get to work. It's been a fucking long drive in, to be honest. And I'm almost late. We have a curfew on Monday mornings. If you don't get in by 9, you fail. So I just realized the time, it's 8:54. So if you find this shit interesting, that was a little bit of jargon. I have no doubt that I would have lost a lot of people who don't understand a lot of the stuff that I was talking about. But if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in marketing, like if you need to understand this, essentially if you own a business that sells, you need to understand this stuff, because if you don't, you won't make money. It's funny because if you don't know how to sell something, you can't ever succeed in business. And again, people get triggered by the word sell. It's like, man, you'll only be a good salesman if your product's good. Because after your product is paid for and it's shit, you lose. Because the consumer satisfaction is 0. Whereas if you have a good product, you don't actually need to be a good salesman. You just make the product do the fucking selling. And that's the better option. It's like, just make the product that good. Make the service that good. Make it fucking amazing. And then tell people about it. And people will do the selling for you because it solves their problems. And the more problems you solve, the more money you make for your consumer, the more value they get from it, the easier it is to sell. And those same consumers want to keep paying you because you can solve more of their problems. And that's the beauty of being able to provide value to consumers. Number 1, provide value. Number 2, sell it, because you know it's going to help people. But no, if you enjoyed that, let me know. If you think this is boring, also let me know. But I realized that I'm speaking about a lot of stuff that, like a lot of rah videos. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. But I think it's actually more interesting for me to share with you what I'm actually going through in the business, what I'm trying to solve, the problems that I'm working on. And it may be more interesting, especially if you are a business owner, entrepreneur. Because essentially, like, I don't know if entrepreneurs are my target audience yet, but I want people having a crack to be my target audience. People who want to escape the 9 to 5, people who don't want to live a life of the same thing that everyone else does, because that ends up being quite boring. And I don't know, if that's not what you want to do, then I can help you to escape that by teaching you this shit. So let me know if you prefer the rah rants. Tell me if you prefer the talks like this regarding the problems that I'm solving in the business. Happy to do like whiteboard sessions and things like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you have any questions, fire them away. Give this a like and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.